Welcome back to SaharaTV. My name is Rudolf Okonkwo. This is the Skype call segment, which is a segment that we curated to give you the chance to talk to us and give us feedback on some of the topics we've been discussing today. And today we have three important topics. One is the OAU, Organization of African Unity, which is now known as AU, turned 50 today. So 50 years ago, the organization was founded. And today in Addis Ababa, there was an incident involving the president of Nigeria who missed a time slot. He was supposed to talk to the organization, but he wasn't there. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the election or re-election of Governor of Rivers State, Amaechi, Rotimi Amaechi, as the chairman of the Governors Forum. And the third topic we're going to discuss is the incident in London this week where two Nigerians were involved in the killing of a British soldier. And hanging here with us today is the Managing Director of Premium Times. Most of you are aware of Premium Times. Managing Editor, sorry. Yeah. Managing Editor of Premium Times, Musikilu Mojeed. Yeah. Welcome to SaharaTV.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, for those people who read Premium Times, they may not have had the opportunity to meet you or to know about you, some of the faces behind. Can you tell us a little bit about Premium Times, how it came about and where it is now, where it's based? And
what Premium Times, it's a newspaper that started sometime in 2011.
Okay.
After some of us who work for the defunct Next were out of job, and we just decided that we needed to continue the kind of work we were doing, you know, in our former newspaper. And we also realized that the next big thing about the media is the internet, and we also believe strongly that our country, you know, given its situation where our country is wealthy but a lot of the citizens are poor, we believe that our country needs the kind of media that can tell the truth to power, you know, and can empower citizens to hold officials accountable. So our Premium Times is based in Abuja, and it's made up of people, reporters, who believe strongly in the power of the media in enthroning good governance and orderly society.
Mm-hmm. So is there any difference between operating on the web and operating as a daily newspaper?
Oh, of course, there is. We have operating as a daily newspaper seems to be easier. You can be a bit laid back. But as you know, in Premium Times, and I'm sure even Sahara reporters where we are now, you know that you can't sleep, you know. You got to update constantly. You offer the news as it breaks. You need to be innovative. You need to distribute. So it's people no longer want to wait to read today's news tomorrow. They want to get the news as it happens. And also know that even when you are breaking news, it has to be factual. So there is so much pressure on you to break the news and also be factual. So it's not, there is a lot more work to do online. But people say the budget for running an online newspaper is perhaps lower than printing and all of that. I don't seem to agree, because the cost of production, even on the internet, is high if you want to do it the right way. Now you guys are doing TV, you are doing radio, it costs a lot of money. If you want to do programs, you want to shoot video, you want to shoot audio, you want to use them to tell compelling stories. Look at the number of staff you have here, for instance, you got to pay them. So basically, offering news on the web and in printed paper is toward the same aim, but there's a lot more work. Because in the newspapers today, reporters go to assignments and they come back and feel relaxed. Yeah, then they come back, they feel relaxed, and then offer the story to readers the next day. We don't have that luxury. We offer the news. If you observe yesterday, while the meeting of the Nigerian Governors Forum was going on, Premium Times reporters were there, but we had 2 reporters on ground, you know, offering live updates. As we have 2 reporters on ground, we had people in the office who editing the tweets and the update that were coming from the feed and feeding them up. So we had editors who needed to go. So the chain is long and it's a lot of work. Yeah.
We will talk more about Premium Times and the work you do, but let's go on over to Skype. We understand that we have a Skype caller who is joining us. Yemi, welcome to Sahara TV. Hello, Yemi?
Hello, yes.
Yeah, welcome to Sahara TV.
Thank you, thank you.
I have with me here the managing editor of Premium Times. Say hello to Mojeed.
Hi, Mojeed. How are you doing?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. And you?
I'm good.
Okay, yeah. Yemi, we have 3 topics we are discussing today. Let's start with the election of Rotimi Amaechi as the chairman of the Governors Forum. How do you view what happened yesterday? I don't know if you have the details. Do you have the details of what happened, and how do you interpret what happened?
Yeah, but I was reading one article this morning on Punch that the governor of Jos is being sworn in, and he held a meeting with 18 other governors. So I don't know who won right now. Is it Amaechi or the governor of Jos? But they conducted an election, and they said Amaechi won. And I don't know, it's within PDP, and really I'm not interested in whatever PDP is doing because I'm focusing on opposition. So, but it shows the level of how they don't follow processes and procedure, and the internal crisis that's going on against 2015 within the party. And it's very obvious and clear that there's a power tussle going on. And some people are for, some people are against within the PDP. But that's really their problem. And I'm really not really concerned, but I'm just following it for information's sake.
All right, Yemi, hold on there. He was talking about the confusion. First of all, Yemi, this is for the whole country. This is not just the PDP. This is the Nigerian Governors Forum.
Yeah.
I know there's a controversy over whether the governor of Plateau State actually is the actual winner. What are you
Well, there is no controversy as far as we are concerned, because if you followed our reporting, you will see that there was an election, and the governor Rotimi Amaechi of Rivers won that election by 19 votes to 16.
Yeah.
So, but after the election, the election had everybody voted, the results were announced, and then these other guys left to say they wanted to set up a parallel faction. Their claim is that before the election, they had a meeting where 18 of them endorsed the governor of Plateau State. And so they expected to win. But when they went into the election, it was a different ball game. Some of the guys who perhaps signed their endorsement paper
voted for Amaechi.
Voted for Amaechi, and Amaechi won. So where is the confusion? Now, we spoke in Premier, I don't know if you've seen that, we spoke to the Asishana Okaru, who is the Director General of the Nigerian Governors Forum, and who was the returning officer in that election. And he said he counted the votes, and Amaechi won by 19 votes. So, and now it's going to be very interesting. We really do not know what these guys are up to. I think they came to that election with a predetermined aim of factionalizing the Nigerian Governors Forum. So that's not our business, but our reporting showed that Amaechi clearly won the election. And we were just reporting a while ago that some of the supporters of Amaechi actually filmed the proceeding in that election, and they are saying they were going to release the video very soon.
Well, very good.
Yeah.
The other interesting part is that there was a press release by Ruben Abati this morning saying that the president had nothing to do with the election.
Yeah.
I know that the media has been interpreting this election to mean that the president lost, in essence, because he was against Amaechi returning as the governor. But now the government is disassociating themselves from the outcome of the results. What do you think is going on here?
Well, there is no way we know when it will, what they say, is it the hand of Esau or the voice of Jacob? Or how did they put it? Well, Reuben Abati can write whatever he wants to write, but Nigerians are wiser. We understand the way politics is played in our country. For a start, the day the Nigerian Governors Forum was factionalized, when a parallel PDP Governors Forum, which didn't exist, was created, it was created right in the presidential villa. You know, it was a meeting at which the president presided to a point before he left, and that faction, that faction was created, led by the Godswill Akpabio of Akwa Ibom. So from then, it had been one problem. It was clear. The PDP chairman, who is a loyalist of the president, had expressed the willingness of the party and the presidency to dethrone Governor Amaechi at all costs. The PDP Board of Trustee chairman, Tony Aneni, has expressed that desire over and over and over again. You know, ministers have expressed that. So and these are very close people to the president. We don't need the president to say it. We understand the body language of the president, which speaks louder than voice. So Reuben Abati can say whatever he wants. He can say but we know what the president is doing, and that's what we are reporting.
Now, the National Publicity Secretary of PDP, Olisa Metu, was supposed to be on our show today, but at the last minute he backed out, and I think these are some of the reasons why, because they don't have answers to some of the questions that we have. Now, what does it say that we have 35 governors in a room and trying to elect somebody that will be... First of all, how did the Governors Forum become this important in Nigerian politics?
It's, you know, some of us are worried at what the Nigerian Governors Forum has become. But you also know that under our law, the Nigerian governors are free to meet, to socialize, and to advocate for whatever they believe in. So it used to be just a club of political jobbers who, because I covered politics in Abuja for a long while, and in the days when Abdullah Adamu, Victor Atta, Lucky Benedion, when they were chairmen of the Nigerian Governors Forum, it was just from time to time they meet when there is need to do some political strategizing or something, so they meet. But at the time that Bukola Saraki became chairman of the body, everything changed. So everything changed, and it became a policy hub, sort of. One thing Bukola Saraki did was to institutionalize the secretariat, and it became like an NGO, you know, working on the area of polio, on the area of security, on the area of governance. And before you know it, the forum became very influential because the secretariat was working. Apart from doing all of this advocacy, the secretariat was also branding the forum, and it began to have more media exposure and all of that. So it was at that point that it became very, and there was a lot of cohesiveness during then, because, you know, they also have this mutual interest of getting more money for their state.
I wanted to say that.
Yeah, for their state, from the federal government. So they are always in unity when they want to fight for money to be released from the excess crude account, and when they want to fight the sovereign wealth fund and all of that. So there was cohesiveness. You see, they can, when they have interest to pursue, they can always come together and work together. But also, of late, you will see that there's a lot of divisiveness in the group.
All right, we will still talk more about that. Let's go back to our Skype callers. I understand that Yemi is back. Yemi, are you with us? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So let's leave the Amaechi story and go to the next story, which is about the Organization of African Unity, or the AU, African Unity. It turned 50 today, actually, 50 years ago that it was formed. And people have been asking whether it has achieved its goal, or whether it has contributed in any way to improve the situation of Africa. I want you to take a Skype, what's your opinion on that? Do you think that African Union has contributed to making Africa more progressive or stable and prosperous?
Yeah, in some aspects they've been able to make an impact, but on a holistic view, I don't think they've really been able to make that impact on Africans across the continent. So, on a general perspective, there's so much to be done, and they've not been able to achieve that.
All right, yeah, stay there now. We'll come back to you. There's this story that is on several news outlets that the president was given a time slot to speak at the African Union, the anniversary event today, and he missed it because he wasn't there. Now, it could have been anything. There were stories that probably he was in the toilet or he was having another meeting somewhere. But the point is that the Nigerian delegation were not aware of where the president was. They could have gone to the people who were in charge to say that Jonathan was not available, they should not call him. But essentially, he missed the opportunity to talk to the African Union. What does that say about our position in Africa? We should have been the most important country in Africa. And we went to an event like this, and our president didn't get a chance to speak.
Well, as you know, everything that, like him or hate him, you know that Obasanjo took Nigeria somewhere. Nigeria was very influential during the Obasanjo regime. I don't understand that kind of diplomacy that Nigeria is playing at this point. Everything that is happening is demeaning Nigerian reputation. The president as a person, the government as a collective, and everything. It's very disturbing. Why we wait for the entire facts on this matter? We don't know the whole story yet. But if what has been reported is anything to go by, then it's very shameful. It's really, really a big slap on Nigeria. Why would the Nigerian president not be available to speak when it is his turn? But that is just a continuation of the terrible diplomacy that Nigeria has enjoyed under this president. You remember that, I don't know, was it not still the AU summit that small African countries stood up to Nigeria and challenged Nigeria? Nigerians should be the big brother in West Africa and even in the whole of Africa. But what is happening today, nobody seems to respect us. Don't be surprised that small countries that border us have no regard for us at all, because our president is not, he doesn't carry himself well, his courage does not give much to cheer about. And then for him, we do not know, because let's give him the benefit of the doubt in this story, because he's a president, he's also just a human being as well. Maybe he got sick, maybe he got sick or something. I just want us to give him the benefit of the doubt and know why he went to the toilet. Maybe he had a running stomach, or maybe something happened.
But the thing is this, why won't our diplomats be able to anticipate and say the president is not available, you shouldn't embarrass Nigeria by calling on the president to come and speak, and we can produce
That is it, because we can't. Look, when I used to live in New York here, and I did a few stories, and I tried to get the Nigerian embassy to Riyadh, no, people don't take calls from the Nigerian embassy. Do you understand? Even now, I've tried a few times to call the Nigerian embassy from Nigeria, and you would never get somebody to talk to you. The efficiency at home has been exported abroad. So the kind of guys now, just imagine, there is something terribly happening now in Nigeria. Diplomatic postings are for politicians. Some of them have no skills. They know nothing about diplomacy. It's just job for the boys. and Nigeria is taking the bashing, is suffering for it, because we put the square pegs in round holes. People who know nothing about how they can't manage their own image. You send them abroad to manage the image of a country like Nigeria. So for as long, if we do not professionalize our foreign service, we will continue to have this kind of situation.
Let me go to Yemi. Yemi, are you still with us? Yemi? Yemi, are you with us? Ferdinand, are you with us?
Yep, I'm with you.
Okay, have you been following what we're discussing?
Actually, I've been following it.
Okay, so what's the take that our president missed his time slots at the AU?
I'm not surprised at all. It's just at the height of his lukewarm attitude to the management of the country.
So
he seems to have taken us for granted, and he continues to disgrace us in foreign countries. Too bad.
All right, hold on there. I understand the other people who are joining us. I can't actually get your names from here. Someone in white shirt who is looking at us. Welcome to Sahara TV. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Hello?
My name is Jordan. Jordan, yes, sir.
Okay, Jordan, you're calling from where?
Thailand, Bangkok.
Bangkok, okay. So what's your take in some of the things we've been talking about?
Another fellow human being that way. So we should condemn that. Having said that, I do not hold the view that these guys are not Nigerian. People keep saying that they've never visited Nigeria. We have no way of knowing that. But they bear Nigerian names, they have Nigerian parents. And so Nigeria, it is not the way of Nigerians to bomb people, to throw bombs at people. These are very unusual times, and but these guys we have just to take responsibility for it. It's not in Nigeria. It's not Nigeria that sent them to do that. But I do not subscribe to the argument by some people that these guys are not Nigerian, that they are being identified as Nigerians because of the incident. They are being identified as Nigerian because they have Nigerian roots. They have Nigerian names.
Okay, Yemi, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so what's your take? These people are Nigerians, or are you worried that this incident will add to the reputation of the country, Nigeria, in a bad light?
Yeah, first of all, we should, everybody should condemn this act. Everybody has been condemning it already, but however, because I read some stories that the British police, they were trying to dissociate these guys being British, that they are Nigerian. And because you bear a Nigerian name doesn't mean you're Nigerian. You can't believe at work, I met somebody, his name is Jumoke, and the way they pronounce his name in the office doesn't sound like Jumoke. He was like Jumeke. And he was now telling me his name is Jumoke, he's from West Africa. I said, spell it. When he spelled it, and I said, this is Jumoke, not Jumoke. What is this Jumoke? So the point is, he now said he's from Caribbean, that his parents just gave him the Yoruba name because they like African names. So look, we need to be very explicit here. If you are a Nigerian, you carry a Nigerian passport, and you wherever you're being caught or you did anything bad, you be attached to that country. So these guys in UK, I heard they have a British passport. They were born in Britain. So, and the way they were even talking, you know that they are not Nigerian. Their accent is British. So, and we are already as Nigerians, we have a stigma all over the world for bad things. So adding this to it, I think as a Nigerian, we need to reject it outrightly, and it's not a Nigerian culture to do such things.
All right, let me go to Ferdinand. What's your position now? Can you talk to us?
Yeah, I can talk to you.
Okay.
The act is barbaric, should be condemned by every right-thinking person. The fact that both their parents are Nigerians, they are Nigerians as well. They are Nigerians. We can't deny that fact.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is another between.
As a country, we have to take the good and the bad and the ugly. If they were stars in any game, we say yes, they are Nigerians, and now we can't deny the fact that they are Nigerians. They are Nigerians.
All right. Hold on there. Let me hear from Jordan, because we are running out of time. I need to get the opinion of all the people we have. Jordan, go ahead.
Thank you. To me, I believe they did is bad, quite all right. But the environment at which you grew up influenced you. So even though there might be Nigerians by parental care, I still think that behavior or their character have to do with Britain, because that was where they were brought up. The environment have changed them. Their mentality must have come up from Britain. I think if they have grown up in Nigeria, they have that way of going ahead to do that. So even though the environment which they grew up, which is Britain, must have influenced them. As like I heard from the papers, they haven't been to Nigeria for the first time. So letting them to Nigerian culture, I don't see it. Rather, we in a way that it was Britain that got them up, that influenced them doing that. That's my.
All right. I understand that Abubakar joined us. Abubakar, welcome to Sahara TV.
Oh, thank you, sir.
All right, Abubakar, before you speak, tell us your view. I understand that before we came on air, that you are running for president of Nigeria. We lost all the Skype callers. All right, we have to round up. So interestingly, Nigerians have different opinion about this. And one of our callers, Jordan, somebody was mentioning this point, that if they are successful, we have this tendency of claiming anybody who bears a Nigerian name abroad, who is successful in every field. But when they do something bad, we want to disassociate ourselves from them. So in general, what do you think will be the reaction now? Because in Britain, unlike America, they have very close media, and Nigerians there, they have, any bad thing Nigerians do, it reflects on the whole Nigerians in the country.
The British media seems to be obsessed with
they are.
negative reporting of Nigeria.
Yes,
I've always seen that.
Yeah.
Now, this is a bad time, like somebody was saying, this is a bad time to approach the British embassy, for visa. If you are a Nigerian, it's unfortunate. They're going to raise the security around Nigerians. It's going to be a lot more difficult getting to Britain, especially from Nigeria and all of that, which is unfortunate. And we get a lot more negative reporting about the matter. One other thing, it's we do not have the reputation of knowing how to manage an issue like this as a country. Apart from the presidency condemning the act and all of that, I'm not aware that our country is doing anything either to mitigate the damage that's going to do to our national image or whatever. I'm not aware of any such thing. We are not diplomatically savvy to heart. So I don't know, but the thing is that a lot more Nigerians are going to suffer because of this.
And also with the what's going on in some parts of northern Nigeria and Boko Haram, this will all fit into the bigger narrative.
Of course.
Yeah, so
of course. Even nobody will remember anymore that these guys grew up in Britain and that they didn't learn any of these things from Nigeria. If terrorists are everywhere, so if they were not Nigerians, they still would have done what they did. But the fact that they are Nigerians now, they love to, everything negative, they love to heap it on Nigeria. And this is unfortunate. Our image already is battered, and adding this to it is worsening the case for us.
Also, some people were raising the issue of how the kids were raised, and as if the parents have the power to actually determine the outcome, how your children are going to turn out. That's something that should be debated.
No, that's debatable, because they are kids of well-behaved parents who did their best for their kids. but the kids still turn out to be terrible kids. So we don't have the whole story. We don't know the parents of these guys, how much they tried to help them, how they were raised and all of that, so that we don't begin now to speculate.
All right, that's about the time we have for Skype calls. But before we go, I want to read some of your comments to our question of the day. We asked you, did Governor Amaechi's re-election to the chairmanship of the Nigerian Governors Forum, despite President Jonathan's opposition, mean a diminished president? I mean, we are asking whether this has diminished the reputation of the president. And some of you are saying, no, that is a victory for democracy. That is from Olayinka or Motosho. That Nigeria's democracy is marching on. The fact that Amaechi was able to win despite the president that was opposed to his re-election. Edwin Obaseki wrote that time shall tell, but I hate this Governors Forum stuff. It is not necessary. We talked about how they've become really a big gang against the government sometimes.
But you could also see that, as I mentioned to you, they were, it's neither here nor there, because the Governors Forum at a point took the lead in the fight against polio, and they did it very well, partnering with Brigade, with the Ministry of Health and a lot of it, and they did it really well.
But also, if you remember the oil subsidy removal, that they were for the government, they were on the side of the government because of the money they are going to get.
Yeah, they were, because if they know that if subsidy is removed, a lot more money will trickle to their states.
Also, I can see Murtala Bala said that yes, that is the fact that Amaechi won, that it signifies the beginning of the end of Goodluck Jonathan. I don't know how far that is true, but these are some of the opinions.
Of course, it's just a victory. It just shows that, the president is not invisible after all. That if you are resolute, if you are firm, you could still pull through. That is all. But it doesn't mean, in any case, when people say this is victory for the opposition, how is that victory for the opposition? Amaechi is still in the PDP.
So, and in fact, we don't have time, but I will have asked you, what does that mean for 2015? Anything we could read from this?
Yeah, because it's important anyway. It's just, it signaled the fact that if the opposition coalition that is in the making is able to get it heart right, it's likely to give PDP a run for its money. Because what happened in this election is that the opposition banded together and was able to get a few dissenters from the ruling party to join it. And that is in spite of the harassment from the presidency and the party. So once these guys signed, they truly signed papers that they were going to vote against Amaechi. But once they have the cover of the secret ballot, they did what their conscience thought was right. And so we are likely to have that kind of situation, because in any case, remember that the PDP primary is always a secret ballot. People go, but the unfortunate thing about the way the PDP does its primary is that they line up ballot boxes by states. So they will now count Bauchi first, count Adamawa, Bauchi, Ogun, and all of that. So it is easy to know.
Yeah, but by then it's late. The outcome should be late.
Yeah, it's late, but it's easy to know that the particular governor is unable to deliver his state.
Yeah, but if the person who is in power...
but the thing that should be done, if they are really sincere about reform, is not to label the ballot boxes. It's not to label it at all. Just allow the ballot boxes to be there, call people randomly. Because when you call Adamawa, even if you don't label it, you know that this is Adamawa that voted first. And so
that's interesting. Anyway, thank you so much for coming to SaharaTV. It's been very interesting having you here.
Yeah. So thank you so much.
That's the end of our show for today. When we come back, we are going to show you Keeping It Real with Adela and Dr. Damages. And on behalf of all our team members out there, we want to thank you for watching, and we hope you join us again next week at the same time. Stay blessed.